Ladies and gentlemen, see, this is just what I do not understand. Terrion Arnold could be facing some very, very serious problems. You guys already know. We'll be right back in 30 seconds.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you to the Scoreboard Keepers. You're around here, we don't keep receipts. We keep the score. So if you want to get on the board, make your point. If it makes sense, we'll add it to the board. If it don't, we won't. Scoreboard Keepers.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Scoreboard Keepers. I am your host, the Ref, where I keep you up to score in everything sports, hip hop, and hot topics. The Detroit Lions announced on Monday they have released cornerback Terrion Arnold following his recent arrest on 8 felony charges in connection with a February robbery and kidnapping in Tampa, Florida. Arnold, who's 23, turned himself into Orient Road Jail in Florida on the evening of June 24th and remained in jail into Monday. A Florida judge set a $1 million bond for the cornerback on Monday, denying the prosecutor's request to hold Arnold without bond while also refusing to impose an ankle monitor as a condition of bond. The judge, Chief Circuit Judge Christopher Sabella, also ordered Arnold to remain at his Tallahassee, Florida home, except for when he is playing, training, or traveling with an NFL team. Later the same afternoon, the Lions decided to part with the former first-round pick, announcing the move on social media. Arnold 8 felony charges include 4 for robbery with a firearm or a deadly weapon and 4 for kidnapping, the Hillsborough County Sheriff Office previously told NFL.com. They stem from his alleged involvement in leading a plot to detain and beat 3 people he believed had stolen from him. The charges carry a potential life sentence in prison. What? Arnold's representation issued a statement following his arrest in which the cornerback categorically denies any involvement in the matter, underlying the allegations made against him, and maintains his innocence. A product of Alabama, Arnold appeared in 24 games, 22 starts over 2 seasons, recording 91 tackles, 18 pass defense, and 1 interception. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. I don't know when these guys, let's get this clock rolling. I can tell you right now, those are some serious charges. Because when I look at those charges, right, he has 8 counts, right? Felony charges. This means that somebody was throwing the book at him. This was somebody throwing a book at him. This was like, listen, who is this guy? Oh, is this Terrion Arnold? Okay, yeah, he got the money. We need the $1 million bond. He's an NFL player. Okay. Like 8 counts, felony charges. This is serious. I don't get the sense that he got any benefit of the doubt. I don't get it. He's categorically denying all the charges. He's saying he's innocent. So what is going on here? Why are these charges so heavy? And does he have any co-defendants? Because for him to have these felony charges, and I don't know if he knows about the law, but if they put these kind of charges up against him, it means that his co-defendants, his co-Ds, told on him. Or else why would they charge a case like this if they didn't have the evidence? Now, I know stranger things have happened, but what I'm saying is that that's either they overcharged him or somebody told, is what I'm saying to you. Because you have to be super confident to put those kind of charges on somebody, because it's an uphill battle to try to get rid of all of those charges. So they're really trying to send him to jail. Now, I don't know if he has a record. I don't know if he's ever been in trouble before. I don't know what it is, but this is kind of heavy for me. Like, nobody was hurt. Not that I know of. It didn't have any reports of anybody being hurt. It just said that it was a plot. Some type of plot. But I don't think anybody was, unalived. I don't think that happened. But to be talking about somebody spending life in jail over a situation like that because he thought that somebody stole money from him and jewelry, and I think they said that he was wrong about that. Man, that's a huge mistake to make, because it could cost you the rest of your life in jail. But not only that, you got fired on your day off. I mean, literally. The Detroit Lions released him on, I believe it was June. It was sometime in June. So this guy, man, he's a young guy too. 23 years old, and you're walking around and you're a millionaire. I always say it, that they miss Chris Carter at these NFL symposiums. They have to absolutely bring him back so he can talk to guys like this. I don't think the NFL understands how important it is, not unless they love seeing these guys crash out. That's what I'm starting to think. I'm starting to think that the NFL loves to see these guys crash out. This guy has some super ability to be one of the best corners in the league. But it seems like everybody that plays cornerback for the Detroit Lions end up getting in trouble. Cam Sutton. But this here is something else, man. You hate to see it. Somebody that's so young that just made a mistake, probably in his feelings, it was in his emotions. $100,000 is a lot of money. They said that was the number. So I understand. $100,000 is a lot of money. But let me tell you, man, you got to know when you walk out of the door that everybody knows who you are, even if you don't know who they are. You have a big bullseye on your back when you walk outside. A huge bullseye. Why? And this is another thing. If there was $100,000 being stolen, why would $100,000 be out in cash anyway? I mean, listen, man, don't you know the real players don't walk around with cash in their pocket? You walking around with $100,000 in cash and wonder how it got stolen? Or maybe it wasn't in cash. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was purchase of jewelry. And maybe the jewelry was fake. It could have this situation could have been it could have been anything. But the point is, and the point that I'm trying to make is that when you walk outside, everybody knows who you are. So it doesn't even matter what the situation was. The fact that six figures is involved. And you felt as though that you were robbed is an absolute problem. It's an absolute problem, especially if this thing is about jewelry, man. I mean, come on. You guys making a boatload of money. You're young. You know you were going to sign a max deal soon as your rookie contract was up. Like you're playing around with your money right now. And Detroit let you go and nobody claimed you off waivers. But your agent is saying that there's a lot of people knocking at your door for your services. But we got to stop doing this, man. Like these athletes, it gets me so upset because they do some of the most boneheaded things. These are boneheaded things. Everybody is watching you. Everybody. Everybody knows who you are, 6. You know, even with your helmet on, you guys got to stop. It can't be, you cannot be doing things out of emotion if you're walking around here as a celebrity. People are waiting for you to trip up every time you walk out of the house because they're going to pick up everything that falls out of your pocket. I mean, geez, I'm not doing, listen, if you're doing business with people that got bad intentions and they have bad practices and then you need to get away from those kind of people. As an NFL player, you're not regular anymore. You're not a regular citizen anymore. You're walking around under different conditions, different rules. Everything's different about you now. You really don't have a private life. People see you out, they're going to want autographs, they're going to stop you, they're going to talk to you. They want to do all of that. So life as you knew it doesn't really exist anymore. Not until after football. But right now, you guys got to act like, you know, that you understand the situations that you're in. You can't walk outside and be blind. You can't do it. Everybody knows who you are. That puts you at an automatic disadvantage. When I see these charges, like I haven't heard anything about you getting in trouble, even when you were in college. I didn't hear anything. It was like you had pretty much a clean slate. But for somebody to give you 8 counts, you have to beat 8 counts in court. 8. That means that the prosecution is playing with house money. They know that if you take out 1, they have 7 more that you have to get rid of. So at the very least, your attorney has a lot of work to do, and he's going to make a lot of money off of you. He's going to make a lot of money. But I just can't believe that these guys will put themselves in that type of situation with all of the money that you have. It's not necessary. But you know, I don't, like I said, your understanding of your situation and your position that you're in right now, you know, it may not be up to par. I'm telling you, it sounds like the way they're writing these reports, it sounds like your co-defendants told on you. So that means that somebody's going to testify against you. If the prosecution can get just 1, that's what it sounds like to me. So you know, like I said, I miss Chris Carter. I always push this narrative. I miss Chris Carter at the NFL symposiums. I think he should be there. I mean, you guys got to let me know. Get down in the comment section and tell me what you think about Terrion Arnold and this type of situation. We're talking about kidnapping and robbery and all that kind of stuff. Or was this somebody trying to rob him for his jewelry for real? Did he pay $100,000 for something and it was fake? I've been hearing about that a lot as well. I've been hearing athletes out here buying all this jewelry and it's not even real. Cubic zirconium. Yeah, I'm hearing it's not even real. So I'm not sure what's going on out here with these athletes. But one thing I'm for sure about and certain, that they need to get Chris Carter back in these symposiums so he can talk to these young men and let them know what life is like as an NFL player when you walk outside your door or around the corner. You need to know what life is like and realize that of all time, especially now with social media, you're no longer just a regular citizen. You're actually a target. You're actually a target. So ladies and gentlemen, That's going to conclude this episode of the Scoreboard Keepers. Terrion Arnold, I wish you the best of luck, my guy. I hope you lawyered up. I hope you I hope you have the best counsel. And like I said, I would love to see you back out there on the field this year. And I hope one of these teams pick you up. Your agent did say that there's people knocking at your door, of course. So I hope somebody pick you up or is wise enough to pick you up and show you the support. But you must, and it's a must that you keep your head on straight and not act in emotion. Now that you are the Detroit Lions starting cornerback, okay? So that comes with a lot of fame and fortune. And guess what? Everybody knows it. So when you walk outside and you think you're in disguise and you think nobody knows you, no, they know exactly who you are. So I'm just going to give you a little OG advice, man. Listen, man, you need to have some solid people around you. And I hope you did in this situation. And I hope these people are not going to sit up there and testify against you in court about you doing something, especially if you feel as though that you were done wrong. And that's our truth, and we're sticking to it. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to conclude this episode of the Scoreboard Keepers. I am your host, the Ref. If you haven't already done so, make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thumb up this video. Get down in the comment section, and let's talk. Meet me there. All right? Meet me there. Or beat me there. Whatever you want to do. But I can't wait to see what you guys comments and what you guys think about this situation, because it is serious. And like I said, if he's found guilty even on some of these charges, he could be facing a lot of time. And his football career can be over 2 of these charges sticking. So I hope he's lawyered up. I hope he's innocent. I hope he's telling the truth. And more importantly than anything, and I hope to see him back out there on the field. Detroit Lions, what I can say about you is that, like, you guys didn't show a lot of faith in this young man. He's 23 years old. You just drafted him. All right. He was your number one pick. And you guys, I believe he was your number one pick. But if not, he was a high draft pick. And for you guys to just release him out on the streets like that and don't have any type of support structure going on for him, that's disappointing. It's very disappointing, because I thought you guys would like stick by this guy. You know what I'm saying? He hasn't been convicted of anything yet. He's been charged, but he hasn't been convicted. But it seems like the Detroit Lions have already judged him and gotten rid of him. And guess what? Something tells me that that's going to come back to haunt you. So, ladies and gentlemen, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Thumb up the video. Until the next episode of the Scoreboard Keepers, I am your host, the Ref. Score. Peace. Good luck, Terrion.